It is day 6 of the UN Climate Change Summit in Dubai, and the first day we've seen notable protests from environmental activists outside. Inside, it appears disagreements are emerging in the talks over a new climate change deal at COP28. Saudi Arabia saying it will not accept a new deal proposing cuts in the use of fossil fuels. Well, let's cross to Dubai. Let's bring in Chloe Dumas, our journalist at France 24. Chloe, bring us up to date with what's going on there.
Yes, well, today's theme was energy and energy transition, a crucial part of climate talks, if not the most important part. And at the center of these talks is the future of fossil fuels, so coal, oil and gas. But this year, and this is why this summit is so important, COP is taking place in the United Arab Emirates, so an oil-producing country, at the center of an oil-producing region. And the message is very clear. These countries do not plan to cut down on oil production. On the contrary, they're ramping up. And while international research shows that fossil fuel phase out, meaning putting an end to oil and gas, is essential to limit global warming, well, the UAE and other countries like Saudi Arabia prefer to look at ways to make fossil fuel production cleaner. So today, the UAE's Minister of Energy called on companies to commit to decarbonization targets, to accelerate the elimination of methane emissions or ramp up on hydrogen production as an alternative, but no agreement on fossil fuel has been reached.
Right, interesting. So in the background to this, Chloe, we've had reports that there are something like 2,500 delegates at the conference linked to fossil fuels, and a sense of maybe a divide. You could tell us more about petrostates versus those wanting more action on fossil fuels. Tell us in particular about the president of the summit, Sultan Al Jaber, on the one hand recorded suggesting that the science on limiting global temperatures didn't require an end to oil and gas, and then 24 hours later saying no, he believes in the science. What's going on there?
Well, I think no one embodies the contradictions of this COP better than its president, Sultan Al Jaber. So he is heading the climate talks, but he is also the CEO of the United Arab Emirates national oil company, ADNOC. So for some observers, this is simply a conflict of interest. And this weekend, Al Jaber caused some controversy by saying there was no science behind the need to phase out fossil fuels. This has caused some backlash here in Dubai and all around the world. And later yesterday, he tried to correct his statement. He said it was misinterpreted, but NGOs and activists remain deeply worried. There have been a few demonstrations, even here this afternoon, to call on COP negotiators to push for an end to oil and gas, but nothing that can really shake the talks. The UAE remains an authoritarian regime, and even though the summit is organized by the United Nations, the rules are very strict and criticism is not very welcome.